what you need to ask and why you need to interview realtors in Utah in 2023. That is what I'm talking about today. So if you're looking at buying or selling here in Utah, don't miss this video because I'm going to give you some things to think about before you decide on an agent. So stay tuned. Hi, this is Melissa Ballman, and I'm a real estate agent here in the greater Salt Lake City area. So what that means, if you're looking at making a real estate move, I'd love to connect with you. Shoot me a text, send me an email, do what you got to do, but get in touch with me. But first, today we're talking about interviewing realtors and how to decide which realtor to choose from. There is no shortage of realtors in the area. So, you have your abundance of picks. So today I want to give you some tips on things to ask before you decide and why those things are important. So first, let's talk about new construction. If you're looking at new construction and you're interested in a new construction home, which I don't blame you. If you've been watching my channel, I said months ago that new construction is where the best deals are. But you want to have an agent who understands and has experience selling with various builders, because every builder has different things about them. And we gather that information as agents just from experience. But then also, I have the benefit that I've been married to a contractor for many, many years who that's what he does, is finishes basements and does remodels and things like that. And so I hear from a construction standpoint what builders are falling short and things that go wrong with finishing basements and things like that. With various builders, that you need to interview an agent on new construction and make sure they have experience. I know all the various builders I've sold in and different things that I look for at each builder because of that knowledge I've built for myself and my clients, but also, like I said, from being married to a contractor. This is the biggest advice I have for people, and tell them to ask every agent, are you full-time real estate? And the reason for that is we have over 18,000 agents at last count, part of the UtahRealestate.com MLS, which is our main MLS. And so you have a lot of part-timers. Now look, there can be fantastic part-time real estate agents. I was one, okay? And this is why I'm saying this, because I am speaking from part-time experience. I was actually licensed here in 2006, and then the market crashed in 2008, and I went out and got a full-time job to provide for my family, and I worked real estate part-time. Well, when I went back to real estate full-time, world of difference. Not just in being available for my clients, but also the knowledge. You gain a knowledge being in the market every single day and working with people every single day. So that may be something very important that you also may want to consider. Okay, next, and this one is kind of a touchy one, and I've been trying to think of a politically correct way of saying this. So hopefully you'll pick up what I'm laying down here. But I used to tell my kids when they were little, like my youngest son, he would be like, Mom, I saw it on the internet. And I would say, yeah, because the internet is pure truth. Okay, so not everything we see online is as it appears to be. So that is why you need to make sure and ask very specific questions on what your real estate agent experience is. And that could be, how many years have you been doing it? How many sales do you have? How many people do you work with that has been in whatever your position is? If you're relocating to Utah, how many buyers have you helped relocate to the area? Do you know how to handle a relocation buyer and be their eyes and ears on the ground? Because you're not going to travel back to Utah for every home inspection or this or that. And you need an agent who knows what they're doing with relocation. So there's things like that that you need to have very specific questions and not rely on what is presented on the internet of what somebody's experience is. Which brings me into a great transition of ask for past client reviews or even testimonials. Like I have a client who she has told me, hey, if you ever have somebody that wants to reach out and hear firsthand what it's like, because this client has bought and sold with me, I'm happy to talk to anybody that you want or wants to reach out to me. So make sure you ask for those reviews and testimonials. And I bring that up because that's true in every profession. You know, you go to Google and you look at a person's reviews before you go to their establishment or this physician or whatever the situation is. So make sure you ask for those reviews from clients and testimonials if you want to take it even that far. Okay, this is a big one. As a real estate agent, we cannot be all things to everybody. So what specialty area or type of real estate do you work in? And what I mean by that is, for instance, I lived in Draper for 20 years. If you have a question about the traffic any day of the week, any time of the day, I can probably answer that about Draper. I've been to every neighborhood. I've raised my kids here, so I'm all over Draper. And so I can advise you very, very well on Draper. Now, that's not my specialty, but my point is, if you ask me to go to Logan and help you buy or sell there, or St. George, I don't buy and sell there. Technically, yes, I can. I'm licensed for the entire state, but I know the best thing for you would be for me to hook you up with a partner that I have in one of those areas. So make sure that the agent specializes in the area that you're looking at, kind of like what I talked about earlier. I've worked with a ton of people relocating to Utah. So that's kind of my specialty, is relocating to Utah, because I know what it takes. I've done it. I've done it from all over the United States. I've even had clients move from out of the country. So that's kind of the way you want to go with asking your questions depending on your situation. Okay, which brings me to the last one, and that is, what trainings or seminars, things like that, do you attend as a real estate agent besides the minimum requirements for licensing? We are required to do continuing education and have so much continuing education every 2 years for the state. But I think it's really important to not do the bare minimum requirement. So maybe ask your agent, if that's important to you, what do they do outside of the minimum requirements? For instance, like I travel and go to seminars that are not required on my own dime throughout the United States, and I network and meet other agents. So I can tell you firsthand, like if you're looking at relocating to Utah, reach out to me. I can help you get an agent where you're at, because I network with them, and I have agents that I've met. Like if you're moving from Nebraska, boom, I know an agent right now that I know personally to refer you to. Phoenix, boom, done. Same thing happened. I referred my Phoenix agent to a broker here in Utah, and out of all the referrals she got, she worked with the person that I referred to her in Phoenix. And that comes from networking outside of Utah, but also that knowledge that I gain from attending seminars and things like that. You also get the advantage of, when you're talking to other agents, you see things happening in other markets, and you can prepare for that and be like, ooh, you're seeing that may be coming here to Utah, or we've already seen it in Utah, whatever the situation is. So I do think it's really important to set the bar, not at the bare minimum. I hope you found my video useful today. If you have any real estate related questions, reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you. I am always here to help, but as always, make it a great day.